Good evening, guests and fellow Toastmaster. A warm welcome to meeting number 48 of Gabby's online advanced Toastmaster Club. I'm Toastmaster Muskan Rahman, your subject at arms for today's meeting. As your subject at arms, it's my duty to highlight some key points for the meeting. The meeting is blocked for 2 hours. Also urging you to stay for the entire duration to get the maximum benefits of it. Your video should be on and your audio should be off, and unmute yourself when you are called to speak or need to speak. Regarding the topics of sex, religion, and politics, even though Toastmaster International does not put any restrictions on speaking on these topics, at the Gabby's Toastmaster Club, we request all speakers and role takers to be mindful and responsible and abstain from expressing any controversial views on this sensitive topic. Our club mission, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Let me now hand over this stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal. Toastmaster Renu Kaushal is a certified soft skill and posh trainer and an aspiring image consultant. A triple crown winner, a path breaker, Renu is deeply passionate about connecting with people, understanding their stories, and empowering them to grow through meaningful conversation. Beyond her professional work, she enjoys cooking and gardening, activities that help her stay centered. The virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. Please join me in applauding our ever smiling and spirited Sergeant at Arms. Today, it seems she had a tiring day, though. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thank you, Toastmaster Muskan, for starting the meeting in time. And as the presiding officer for today's meeting, I now declare the Gabby's online advanced Toastmasters meeting number 48 officially open. It's my pleasure to welcome all the guests, the members, the visiting Toastmasters, and the distinguished Toastmasters. Thank you for being here. We hope you leave today's meeting feeling little inspired, connected, enriched by the vibrant energy and the learning culture that our club proudly fosters. Just now, let me share a little bit about what Toastmasters community is all about for the benefit of our guests who are new to Toastmasters. So, it is a 100+ years old community which was started by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. And this community is united with one common mission, which is empowering people to become confident communicators and leaders. We at the Gabby's online advanced Toastmasters, we keep that spirit alive. And our meetings are a safe learning space where we speak, we listen, we give feedback, and most importantly, we all grow together. That was about our club mission and the Toastmasters community. Now, before we dive into today's meeting, it gives me an immense pleasure to share today that our club has now earned the prestigious Smedley Distinguished Club recognition. Well, this remarkable milestone is a testament to the dedication, commitment, and collective efforts of every member who is present here and not in absentia, and who has contributed to our journey. So let's take a moment to appreciate what we have accomplished together. Please join me in giving yourselves a well-deserved round of applause. I'll take this moment also to extend a very warm welcome to two of our reinstated members, Toastmaster Subhashni Jayalalitha and Toastmaster Piyush Mohanty. Do we have them in the room? Well, we then welcome them in absentia. We are delighted to have you rejoin the Gabby's family, Toastmaster Subhashini and Toastmaster Piyush. Well, now it's time to connect with some guests who have joined us today. May I request? We know this is to DTM Uma Nataraj. Would you like to come on camera and share some few words with us about yourself? Okay.
Yes, this is Toastmaster Uma Natraj from District 120. I belong to Speak Magic Toastmasters Club. I have attended many of Gabby's meeting earlier, but I've taken a long break. Nice to be back here again.
Yes, you're welcome here.
Thank you.
I want to see you more and more often coming to our meeting, and we'd like to benefit from your experience as a Toastmaster. Thank you for coming back. And we would like you to stay for the entire duration, and we'll come back for your valuable feedback.
Sure.
I can see Revati K. Are you a Toastmaster, Revati, or a guest?
It's Revati as a Toastmaster, and
Okay.
and I got the link from one of the WhatsApp groups, and I just was curious to know and
Okay.
wanted to join the club meeting.
Right. So you're all welcome, and we would request you to stay for the entire duration, and we would like to know how you liked our meetings. I could also see Toastmaster Shilpa. Toastmaster Shilpa, would you like to share a few words with us? Okay, while Toastmaster Shilpa is coming to the
Sorry,
camera.
I was trying my best to figure out where is the unmute and video options. I'm not at all a Zoom person. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's pleasure. It's our pleasure to have you here. And you have been having
I'm
you earlier
interested to
also.
see.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for coming by. I could see Pooja Sharma. Pooja Sharma, are you a guest or a visiting Toastmaster? Okay. Looking at the clock, it's time now that we delve further into the meeting. And before that, I would request the guests who are joining us in between may keep on sharing their introductions in the chat box. We would love to read them. Thank you for coming by once again. Okay, now a gentle reminder for everyone to please register for the special celebration that we are having on 13th June as we commemorate the 6 remarkable years of the Gabby's Toastmasters Club. Well, it's going to be an exciting occasion filled with memories, milestones, and merriment. Stay tuned, more details will be shared later during today's meeting. And now it's time to hand over the virtual stage to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. Can we spotlight Toastmaster Sunil Gupta? But before that, I would also like to share a few things about him. So Toastmaster Sunil is no longer a stranger to Gabby's family. We all know him as the first runner-up of our club's humorous speech contest. He has also served as a sergeant-at-arms at the Gabby's International Toastmasters Clubs and has been contributing wholeheartedly to the smooth conduct of our meetings. We have witnessed his enthusiasm of embracing new challenges and growing through each of those experiences. Beyond Toastmasters, he's deeply passionate about playing cricket, honing his English speaking skills. And what truly sets him apart is his value he places on building meaningful relationships, which firmly believes that people are his greatest asset. With his energy, curiosity, and commitment to growth, I'm sure he has something exciting in store for us today. Please join me in welcoming our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sunil.
Thank you, Presiding Officer, for kind introduction. Fixing requires looking backward at the mistake, but replacing requires looking forward at the potential. Good evening, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Tonight, our theme is just replace it. No fixing, no repairing, no mending, just replace it. It is all about the power of replacement for something better. Actually, what happens that we too often waste our time, energy, and peace of mind trying to patch up things that are simply past their prime. We look backward, trying to force the old to work instead of looking forward to the potential of the new one. So, to kick things off, I want to see that any of you would like to share an experience where you got tired of repeatedly repairing something like, you know, a home appliance, a non-working machine, or broken furniture, or smartphone, or anything else. You finally said, "Oh, enough is enough." Then you replace it with a new one. Anyone, please? Rahul. Yeah, Rahul.
Yeah, I have recently exchanged few things. So in my house, one day the machine was ripping clothes. Washing machine was ripping clothes whenever we used to wash, and I noticed that the inside is not working, and I tried to sell it in OLX, on OLX, but still nobody was willing to buy it. So I had to buy a new one. And then again, fridge. That also I had bought another one because there was no solution. It was costing more to repair than to buy. It was beneficial to buy a new one instead of repairing it.
So, how did you feel after replacing them with new ones? Stress free, no
I was
vibes,
I felt more being more
complaint.
careful in future, and I was just giving lectures to everyone that please take care of this this time
Oh,
so that we don't break this one faster.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyone, please? Anyone? Okay. Okay. Gauri Agarwal. Yeah, Gauri.
So I had tried to replace my sister. This is a true story. We were very tiny, and when she was born, of course, the attention was distributed. And one day I was scolded because of her. She was wrapped in a cloth, and I picked her up like that and took her and actually dropped her from the stairs. But luckily, my father caught her, so I had a full plan to replace her. But I'm stuck. She's still there. Having said that, I
Is it
love her
possible?
immensely. No, this was ages ago. Ages ago.
Okay. So don't try to replace your partners or relatives, please. Okay. Anyone? Okay. Oh, Priya, yes. Please share.
Well, I mean, my husband and me, we replaced our car, not because it was old-fashioned or, outdated, but because we felt there was a need to buy a bigger car. It had been with us for several years. So when we actually went and replaced it for a better model or a slightly bigger car, I was very emotional. And I did have that attachment. And before I said goodbye to the car, I ensured that I clicked a photo with it at the showroom where we were buying a new one. So replacement can be because of other reasons as well.
Yeah, but sooner or later we get attached to the new one also. No problem. Yeah. So let's now, for the benefits of our guests, I would like to explain the flow of today's meeting. Like a regular Toastmasters meeting, today's meeting also has three major sections. As our theme suggests, each section is designed to help us replace an old habit with a brand new skill. First, we have the prepared speech section, where our speakers replace hesitation with their well crafted stories. Second is the table topic section, where we all practice impromptu speaking and replace the fear of unknown with quick thinking. And finally, we have the evaluation section, where we learn how to replace our blind spots with constructive feedback. Now, I would like to invite our general evaluator. Today, our general evaluator is someone whose speeches are not only engaging and interesting, but also at times mysterious and frightening. Really, truly. In fact, during one of his speeches, he frightened me so much that I thought I was about to have a heart attack. He knows. So, today our general evaluator is Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta is a two-time Distinguished Toastmaster who has completed all 11 Toastmasters pathways. With over 20 years of leadership experience at HP, Target, and JCPenney, he's a seasoned expert in analytics, strategy, and marketing. Now a social entrepreneur, he co-founded Proactive in 2020 to support students, MSMEs, non-profits, and women entrepreneurs. A proud father and lifelong learner, Saurav is passionate about empowering others through learning and leadership. To help us evaluate our speeches tonight and ensure everything is running smoothly, please help me welcome the master of mystery himself, Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. Over to you, Sourav Dutta.
Thank you so much, our handsome TMOD Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. And my role as the general evaluator today is basically to evaluate the entire meeting right from the start till the finish. And I've already started taking my notes, making notes of the points that I would want to share with you in terms of what was good and what could have been better. These are 2 hour long meeting. We have got 3 speeches. We have got 6 evaluations. We have got a bunch of table topics. Needless to say, for one single person to do justice to this entire buffet in terms of evaluation and giving constructive feedback is not going to be possible. Hence, I put together a team that's going to help me with this. Now, this is something I really love about the Gabbies. It's the kind of members that we have. And this member, I am taking a lot of pride in introducing her to all of you. She's one of the newest members of our club. She's someone, her qualification is something that my mom always wanted me to have, but then not this life, maybe the next life, I'll be you, Smita. So I have my pleasure of introducing our timer for today, Toastmaster Dr. Smita Gupta. She is a PhD from IIT Delhi, and she has joined the Gabbies for her next chapter of meaningful conversation and personal growth. So our timer for today, the very erudite Toastmaster Smita Gupta. Please explain your role, Smita.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. For prepared speeches, the timing would be between 2 to 3. After completion of 2 minutes, I'll show that green card. And after completion of 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll show that yellow card. And after 3 minutes, I'll show the red card. And for 5 to 7 minutes speeches, after 5 minutes, I'll show the green card. After 6 minutes, I'll show the yellow card. And after 7 minutes, I'll show the red card. And second is for evaluation sections. Evaluation would be for 2 to 3 minutes. It means after completion of 2 minutes, I'll show the green. At 2:30, I'll show the yellow, and at 3, I'll show the red. And if we talk about the table topic section, so there will be only for 1 minute, and after completion of 1 minute, every speaker will be muted, and for that there is no timer. So because that is not a part of that competition. So that's all from my side.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Smita Gupta. That was our timer for today, Toastmaster Smita Gupta. Now let me move on to the next person. So from the scholar, let's move on to the poet. So if we had a scholar as a timer, we have a poet as a language evaluator today. A language evaluator today, Toastmaster Priya Singh, is a Triple Crown winner, marketing professional, academician, etc., etc. But the most important thing, she is passionate about creative writing and poetry. In fact, when she was the Sergeant at Arms, our meetings used to beautifully start with her poetries. Her podcast, Soulful Scrolls, is a dedicated effort to the craft of poetic expression. She joined Toastmasters to enhance her public speaking skills and become an influential voice to inspire others, which she's clearly doing. Over to you, Toastmaster Priya Singh, our language evaluator for today.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Saurav, for that warm introduction. Good evening, Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and dear guests. As a language evaluator for today's meeting, I will be listening closely to everything that is spoken in the meeting today. I will listen to the noteworthy words, phrases, and the language habits that deserve recognition. I will also pay attention to the ahs and ums, filler words like so and interjections, repetitive words. I will highlight the effective use of the English language and also make a note of the repetitive and outdated expressions which need to be replaced with better ones. As the language evaluator, I will now introduce the word of the day. And the word of the day today is obsolete. Obsolete means outdated, no longer in use, old fashioned. Some examples of usage in sentences are: the company decided to replace its obsolete machinery with the latest technology. Typewriters were rendered obsolete by personal computers. I will come back at the end of the meeting when called upon by the general evaluator to present my observations and report. Till then, I request one and all to please go ahead and use the word of the day to the maximum possible. Thank you. Back to you, general evaluator.
Thank you so much. The third person in my team is someone who will be testing us for a skill that can never be obsolete. I think that's a skill that we consider as a surviving skill, listening. And as a listener, now we said that we had a scholar and then we had a poet. Now, what we have for you is an actor and a model. And that is our listener for today, Toastmaster Muskan Rahman. Muskan, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. I am Muskan, and I will be serving as a listener for today's meeting. My role is to listen attentively throughout the session, observe key details from the speech, report, discussion, and at the end of the meeting, I'll ask you questions to see how well we are all listening. So stay engaged, pay attention, and let's have a great meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that was my team, the timer, the language evaluator, and the listener. I would be coming back with my team, my TEL team, along with the evaluators towards the end of the meeting when I'm invited back by the Toastmaster of the day. For now, handing it back to you, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Now let's enjoy the prepared speeches and learn something to replace our obsolete traditions, our obsolete style of speaking. Today, the first speaker is Toastmaster Smruti Sagarika Mohanty, and she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Chitrangana Singh and Toastmaster Gauri Agarwal. I would request both of them to confirm their presence. Gauri and
I'm
Chitrangana.
here. I'm here as well.
Okay, thank you. So, now, Toastmaster Smruti is a certified soft skills trainer, mentorship specialist, training content creator, and seasoned B2B enterprise sales professional with over a decade of experience. An active Toastmaster, she has served in multiple club and district leadership roles, including club mentor, club coach, and distinguished area director. She is the past president of the Gabby's online advanced Toastmasters Club. She is the first runner-up of District 92 table topic contest of this program year. Today, she is going to present Level 4, Project 1, the power of humor in an impromptu speech of the path engaging humor. The purpose of this project is for the member to develop their method for giving impromptu speeches and practice adapting rehearsed stories during a presentation. Timer, please note that she will deliver two speeches one by one after I give her this topic, and each speech duration will be 2 to 3 minutes. Am I clear, Smita? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Toastmaster Smriti, I have put all the 12 topics mentioned in your project into this bowl. So, no cheating, no blame. I will draw the first topic now and then the second after your first speech. So, okay, let's ready. Here is your first topic. Toastmaster Smriti. There is a sudden thunderstorm at a picnic for a large family reunion. Everyone is stuck in a gazebo. You decide to speak for a few minutes to entertain the group while the rain passes. There is a sudden thunderstorm at a picnic for a large family reunion. Everyone is stuck in a gazebo. You decide to speak for a few minutes to entertain the group while the rain passes. Toastmaster Smriti.
Do you know how a gazebo looks like? Just like your Zoom screen, a rectangular box in a full 7D format, okay? You have all the corners in place. It is top above from the land on the sky. And now imagine stuck with your typical Indian family when you are trying to enjoy a family picnic. Now, immediately, this particular gazebo and people inside it, now this transformed to a full emergency planning committee. Now, I come from a very healthy family. For us, picnic means food, food, and more food. Of course, the gossip, the photos, and at least one relatives who bring some extra snacks just in case history repeats itself. No, so when the rain started, the reactions were quick, instant. People blaming the weather forecast, people blaming their husband, people blaming their kids, and whatnot. Now, some people they have already started looking food because that's the first rescue which we can do. But then something interesting took place, and I was the silent observer there. So I thought, let me listen very carefully. What I noticed that we stopped running around and started talking. Now, running around as in not literally but figuratively, running around people and rumors. We started talking. Even I had my pet with me at that point of time. At first, she was confused because she was interested in food, so many food. But then she started calmly settling down because she adjusted herself to an Indian family. Now, she was their appointed unofficial supervisor of this chaotic situation inside the gazebo. In this silent, chaotic connection, I also realized something very simple in that particular moment. I realized that life doesn't always follow the plan. Sometimes it creates pauses. The family, which was chaotic in the initial moment, and before that it was excited with the food, now they are pausing. Now they're done with blaming their kids and their husband and also the weather app. Now they're settling down. They're pausing to bring people closer to each other. they're trying to play the age-old Antakshari, because I think that's the best thing which they can do when they're up above the sky from the ground inside the gazebo. So here's my key takeaway from this particular experience, a quite vivid experience, that this interruption, be natural or man-made, they're not always problem. Not always, huh? That's the key word. Sometimes they're hidden opportunity for a better connection, connecting with the situation, connecting with known people who sometimes feel strangers in that particular room. So that was my picnic. That was me. When thunderstorm was hitting, I was trying to keep my thunder alive by observing and noticing people. Just noticed. I did not say anything more about it. So we had a planned picnic. We ended up creating a beautiful memory with food, with gossip, with my pet around. And honestly, no weather forecast could have planned something better than that. So next time, if you are stuck in a gazebo, the rectangular figure, in a lift, or in a Zoom Toastmasters meeting, when the thunderstorm could be in the form of lightning, in the form of sound, or in the form of a speaker who is blabbering, remember, every moment is a time for connection. Try to pause. Try to listen what the person is speaking and try to silently take some learning. Try to replace couple of things because change is not obsolete. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster Sunil.
Thank you. Let's shuffle the topics. Now, next one. Toastmaster Smruti. You have unexpectedly won an award or other recognition. You are asked to say a few words. You have unexpectedly won an award or other recognition. You are asked to say a few words. Toastmaster Smruti.
I'm standing here with a very confused expression today because I came here expecting a speech, a normal evening, maybe a very quick meeting, but definitely not an award. My brain is still trying to load. Why me? I know I am confident speaker. Priya, don't give me that look, but still I think, why me? I come from a sales, marketing, and soft skills background, a quite dangerous combination, yet a comfortable one. I spent most of my life teaching confidence to people. Yeah, Renu, I understand that smile. I go to companies and I tell them, believe in yourself, speak clearly, be confident. The irony, the only place I feel comfortable being confident is while I'm saying those sentences. Not living them, of course. Let me tell you something, and this is the best opportunity while I'm taking this particular award today. I remember one corporate training session where I was teaching executive presence. Very serious audience, very serious topic. I walked in feeling like I was about to change lives. First 10 minutes, perfect. 11th minute, I forgot my next point. 12th minute, I confidently repeated my previous point like it was part of the curriculum. And one particular keen, polite individual raised his hand and asked, Ma'am, is repetition a part of leadership skill? Well, without blinking for a second, I said, absolutely. That's a strategic reinforcement. If life asks you to repeat it confidently. Well, that was me. At that moment, I realized something very important, that sometimes the confidence is not about it's never failing, it is about failing so smoothly that people think it was intentional, just like an impromptu speech. And today, while I take this particular trophy, I feel exactly the same. This award, it makes me realize that recognition, it does not come when you feel ready. It comes when you know that showing up, even when you are badly screwing up a speech, confused one, is still important. Showing up is important, smiling is important, owning the stage is important. And with that ownership, I'm happily taking this particular award from you. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster Sunil.
Thank you, Smruti, for wonderful speeches. Audience, did you enjoy the speeches? If yes, please comment in the chat box. Let's move on to the second speaker, that is Toastmaster Ayesha Siddiqua. She will be evaluated by Toastmaster Rahul Swami and Toastmaster Dr. Archana Prajapati. Both of you, please confirm your presence. Rahul and
Yep.
Archana. Okay, both are there. Thank you. Toastmaster Ayesha, a data analyst and robotics trainer. She trains students in coding and robotics and guides IT aspirants in learning data analysis through practical, hands-on methods. Her goal is to make learning simple, interactive, and future-ready. Today, she is going to present Level 1, Project 3, Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language of the Path Presentation Mastery. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. Timer, please note, the speech duration will be 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Ayesha, the silent office Toastmaster Ayesha.
Hey, Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and distinguished guests. The office that morning had a peculiar sense of bureaucratic melancholy. Not loud, not chaotic, just quite observant. Even the air condition seems wary, as though it had been enduring the corporate fatigue. I was sitting at my desk and typing slowly, slowly performing the noble illusion of productivity, while my mind had already embarked on its own departure. Then she arrived, my manager. They stood beside me and said, "We need to talk about your performance." The sentence was so despectively simple, yet carrying existential undertone. I nodded, and something within me is quietly shifted. She looked at me and then at my screen. "Satisfied with your current trajectory?" she asked. I paused, slowly stood up, and replied with calm conviction, "I believe it's a time that I need to recalibrate my journey. I'm resigning." Effective immediately, no agitation, just clear, composed finality. She didn't respond, only silence. A silence that felt almost institutional in its weight. And in it, and the silence, something unexpected. I feel like I'm so relieved, freedom, a strange emotional levity. And then reality dissolved. I was no longer in the office. I was in a occasion. Sunlight, azure skies, a gentle ocean breeze that almost poetical indulgent. I hold a cold drink, watching the waves performing the eternal choreography against the shore. Suddenly, an encumbered existence. Hey, let's go to coffee. The voice shattered the tranquility. My friend, obviously, casually, ordinarily, almost offensively normal. I turned slightly shuttered and feel disoriented. The ocean, the breeze, the resignation, everything began to evaporate like a fragile illusion under the sunlight. Then I blinked and I found I'm still seated. I'm still typing. I'm still embedded in the mundane architecture of office life. Oh, now let me ask you, how many of you drifted your mind to your favorite place while I am speaking, or while you're doing some work, or while you are in some conversation you don't like it to listen? Or you might have imagined yourself to stand in a TEDx speaker stage and speaking loudly, clearly, confidently. Have you experienced this kind of situation? Maybe yes. Maybe yes, because we all are human beings. Sometimes we pass on to the different kinds of illusion what our mind say at that time. Then, now I come to my story. What I experienced in the office moment is closely related to what the psychologists call it as maladaptive daydreaming. In today's fast moving digital life, the tendency is increasing day by day. People mentally escape during their work due to stress. Research linked this pattern with reducing concentration and emotional fatigue, and sometimes social anxiety and social withdrawal, especially when you are become habitual to this. The situation is not stopping the imagination. It means you have to balance the situation with your presence. And at the end, I would like to tell you it is very easy to balance our life. Dream is not enough to inspire, it is just to stay present enough to live. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayesha. I would request all the people to express your thoughts about the speech in the chat box. Now, let's move on to our third speaker for the evening, Toastmaster Paduka Kannan. She will be evaluated tonight by a powerhouse duo, distinguished Toastmaster Shashank Bhat and distinguished Toastmaster Akshay Singh. Evaluators, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yes,
Akshay
I'm here.
also. Okay, thank you. Today, okay, this is introduction. Toastmaster Paduka Kannan has been a Toastmaster for more than 5 years and is an ex-VP membership of the Gabby's Toastmasters Club. She is the past area director of Area B1 District 92. Professionally, with more than 14 years of experience in automotive segment, she is a project manager and a solution architect. Today, she is going to present the first speech of her DTM project. The purpose of this project is for the member to demonstrate her skills as a leader and a public speaker. And the purpose of this first speech is for the member to introduce her plan and vision. Timer, please note that the speech duration will be 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Paduka. Speak X. Speak X. Toastmaster Paduka.
So people don't become confident speakers by consuming communication. They become confident speakers by experiencing communication in real time. Good evening, Gabbies. As Gabbies celebrates its 6th year, a personal milestone to celebrate as well. This is my 7th year, especially this June marks my 7th year in Toastmasters. And during the 7 years, I had a privilege of experiencing Toastmasters in different forms. I would say more of a pre-COVID era where it was completely an offline in-person meetings. And during COVID where it was more of a virtual meeting. And post-COVID where we are experiencing as a hybrid meetings as well. And along these ways, of course, I have played multiple club officer roles as an area director and completed multiple paths. And I've learned from multiple amazing speakers and leaders. With all these experience and being a member of Gabby's, there's one question that I've been pondering over recently. How we can enrich the speaking experience, right, in a way that encourages every member in this room, right, more actively, not with cameras off, and create a stronger base, stronger sense of belongingness, and growing all of us together. Because Toastmasters is just not about speaking. It's about connection. It's about participation. It's all about the community itself. And ultimately, to answer this question is where my DTM project lies with, SpeakX. So I would like to share my vision and plan, basically which is answering the question that I've been pondering over myself. Let me share my screen. Hope my screen is visible. Is
Not
my
as
screen
yet.
visible?
Not as yet.
All right. Let me try again. All right. Is my screen visible, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, as I said, my vision is all about creating a memorable experience, an interactive experience, an enriching experience, which will help all of us, the members of Toastmasters, to participate, connect, and grow in Gabby's Toastmasters Club. So, how can I enrich this experience? Right? So, something where we will have 100% audience interaction, or having a more of a lot of non-verbal signals, right? Something that you can get face to face when you speak. And somewhere we can build that confidence, especially because at the end of the day, communication is all about how you're performing in the real world, right? This is more of a training platform. So what I felt is, comparing to my experience in all the 3 formats I had in Toastmasters, I felt that we can enrich much more better by coming in person, right? And build that kind of a community with more belongingness and connection, such. And with that, created a sort of an objective to myself is, how can we increase an in-person participation and engagement in our club, right? Thereby we can have a good enriching experience. We can have a kind of a much better collaboration and the creative thinking as well, because we do learn a lot from our peers. So for this to do it, there should be a starting point, isn't it? And that's where the SpeakX came into picture. And what more better than any other day than our Gabby's 6th anniversary event itself, where we wanted to make it as a more immersive, interactive speaking experience that encourages everyone in the room to come in person and participate, of course, without losing the virtual experience, participation experience as well. So for every initiative that you have, you need to have a strategy, right? So how can we build this in-person participation, right? So what we were thinking is we are starting with this particular event. And in this event, we wanted to have maybe a dual role takers where one can handle virtually and one can handle in person, right? And bring a kind of a very differentiated experience where unlike any other Toastmasters meeting, something that can help make you to think quick on feet, right? And encourage members to bring a lot of guests because more the hands, more the people, a lot of fun. And also create an awareness and promotion. In fact, quite a long compared to any other Toastmasters meeting. So we've been planning at least 4 weeks of promotions for this particular event where we are trying to push more of an in-person registrations and create a kind of a curiosity among everybody because the agenda is completely different as well. And then finally, without the ecosystem connectivity, right, it would be unfulfilled as such. So we are also trying to connect with external sponsor partners. Thereby, we can maximize the value that we bring to the table for the event. So overall, create a very good awareness. Thereby, you can increase the attendance and have a kind of a good event experience. Thereby, it will encourage the members to keep coming to our club meetings in person again and again and again. Any project should have a metrics to measure. And these are the 4 metrics which I've jotted down to myself. First is the registration, number of registrations. And of course, how many are coming in person and how many are volunteering to organize these kind of events. And finally, the feedback score from each of the participants as well. And every plan needs to have a risk management as well. And that's where the risk that what we can foresee is something maybe a lower registration. So as we are monitoring very closely our registration. So if we feel it is not up to the mark, then increase the promotions and the follow-up with each of the members. And if there are, and of course, to avoid any technical issues, have multiple dry runs and see that you have a good, you have backup volunteers and of course have a very good, proper agenda, which is also scheduled with some buffer time as well. And these are the set of the team that we have put together. I must say an 18-member organizing team to create this unforgettable speaking experience. So we have covered all the parts from, because leadership is just not about me doing everything, isn't it? It is about allowing or having that ecosystem for everyone to come together and do it together, experience together. So we have, of course, put up the complete chart with respect to what would happen on the day of the event, and what would happen on pre-event and post-event as well. And yes, I'm keeping my fingers crossed where we are expecting an increased participation, a strong member engagement, and with this kind of an experience, I hope that everybody will keep participating again and again and again. So, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, SpeakX was designed to create exactly the experience that we all wanted to have, right? For what we are expecting in our Toastmasters. Just not a speaking experience, but a more of a community, more of a connection, the belongingness as well. And the best part is, it is still yet to come. Right? So I would also take my opportunity to invite everyone over here to come and attend the Saturday's meeting today. And let's all experience this together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paduka. If you resonated with the speaker's vision and plan and words, please comment in the chat box to motivate the speaker. Now we will take a short 3 minutes break. It is now 8:25. We will just return in at 8:28. Okay. See you.
I'm so sorry. Where was the timer, by the way? I was not able to see the timer at all, maybe because I was sharing my screen. But okay. Sorry, Dr. Smith. I completely missed you.
Toastmaster Paduka, as sorry, DTM, as you are sharing a screen, that's why I think you missed the timer screen.
Yeah, I was trying to see the timer, but I do not know why. Unfortunately, I was able to see only Renu. I just made it a point I would see the timer, but it went for a toss. All right, but thank you. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, we enjoyed it, so it's fine. If you are gone overtime, that's fine with us. We don't mind.
Thank
I think recording was not stopped. So let's start 8:28. Yeah. Welcome back, Toastmasters. Let's continue with the theme. Dear Toastmasters, don't you think that we often follow this theme in our daily life too? We frequently spend months or even years trying to fix old habits, harmful habits, outdated ways of thinking, or troublesome routines, when in reality we should simply replace them with something new. So let's open up the floor again. Does anyone have an incident to share? A time when you stopped patching up a bad habit, a clunky routine, or an outdated mindset and decided to make a clean swap? Anyone, please, who replaced bad habits with new good one?
I would like to
Yeah.
say I can't completely swap out the bad habit with the good one because that's not possible for me. Firstly, I will start with food. If that's the only bad habit, I believe that nobody can swap with the good salad and all this good stuff with the homely made, mom's made thing. So I'm still trying on it. So that's the one thing I would like to say. And also
Anyone?
that the missing out the Toastmaster meetings. I I'm trying to be very proper with the meetings now.
Anyone else? You all have been good people since childhood. You haven't changed anyone within yourself. Very good people. Actually, I share my that I used to argue a lot. So I replaced my tendency with, as Ayesha mentioned, that silence. Now I try to keep silence when if I didn't agree or I don't agree with the speaker or the person. So anyone please?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
something to add. So I used to get angry a lot during my teens and all. But as you become mature, you understand that if someone is provoking you, then the best answer is to be silent and then walk away. So this is something I think I've learned over the years, actually.
I think everyone will resonate with Paduka. Definitely. All get angry impulsively. Yeah. Okay. Now let's move on to the next session if no one has uh, another story. Okay.
Can I share a brief story again, just
Yeah, 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 yeah.
in 30 seconds? So, one of the habits I replaced, or I'm still working on it, is trying to replace my serious self by being more humorous. And I give a lot of credit to my husband because he has the funny bone, and marriage has definitely helped me in replacing that aspect of me. Thank you.
Good. Now it's time to move on to the most exciting part of our meeting, the table topic section. And this is the segment where we practice impromptu speaking and learn to instantly replace our panic with poise. To conduct this section, I would like to invite the table topic master of the day, Toastmaster Harshal Jadhav. Toastmaster Harshal is a CA student originally from Goa, currently doing his articleship at EY. He has joined Toastmasters to become comfortable in presenting his ideas and confidence. Let's give him a big round of applause as he takes the stage, I think, for the first time as TTM.
Yes.
Am I right? Yeah, yeah. So, Toastmaster Harshal, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. Good evening, guests and Toastmasters. Welcome to the table topic session. Let's replace it. Every generation replaces something that the old generation swear would never go obsolete. Because change is the only constant thing. Tonight, we are going to discuss about some conventions or some principles that have been followed from years and whether they will go obsolete or whether they will continue as they are. The format for today's table topics is the debate format. I'll call upon two speakers. One a speaker would speak in favor of the topic, and the other one would speak against the topic. Each speaker would be given exactly 1 minute. After that 1 minute, our timer will show the red card, and our Zoom moderator would mute the participant. One more thing is that whilst I will announce the topic, I'll also post it in the chat for the benefit of the speaker. The most important thing, I'll request all participants to keep their cameras on. And those who would like to volunteer, please raise your virtual hands. Before starting, can the timer confirm that they are there, available? Yes, thank you. Let me call upon our first speaker, Toastmaster Yamini, and can we have Toastmaster Madhav on camera? Yeah. Toastmaster Yamini would be our first speaker who will speak in favor of the topic, and Toastmaster Madhav would speak against the topic. Toastmaster Yamini, are you ready? The topic is, should wake-up alarms be replaced with bedtime reminders?
So I would say bedtime reminders will definitely help in terms of creating the motivation to wake up at a given time in the morning. Because normally, like when the thought is not, created in the night, right? You tend to kind of, put off the alarm and you don't get the required motivation. So personally, I believe like when you conclude the day, like you need to conclude the day with a prayerful attitude, and even like you need to have a to-do action. A bedtime reminder also you need to set for what you need to do tomorrow. So personally, I feel like a bedtime reminder will help in instilling the thoughts deep into your mind and help you to kind of get started in the morning. So this is my personal opinion because a lot of times I have actually kind of overlooked the alarms and I have kind of not sticked on to the commitment whenever I had to do something in the morning. But when I actually wanted to work on myself, I always used to journal in the night to kind of, set up a bedtime reminder, to do tasks, and all of that. So I think that really helps in creating that motivation in the morning.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yamini. Toastmaster Madhav against the topic. Over to you.
Yes. So I feel morning alarms would be more effective. Of course, bedtime reminders can be put for whoever feels that is most effective. But then, morning alarms are where you put a set time. So that is the start of your routine. Usually people have varying sleeping ability. Some might sleep later than others, and some like might even skip their own routine. Even if they put bedtime reminders, there might be something that might come up, but that alarm is significantly that one point in your morning that you chose yourself to start. People might have an issue, they might be skipping the alarm sometimes, but then once again there's that mentality you said that yeah, that is the start of the day. Eventually with self-motivation there might be the change of stopping to snooze at alarm. It's all about personal preference, of course. So but then we always start so everything with a particular.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhav. Two very different takes, very well defended. Let's move on to our next speaker, Toastmaster Mamta J. And can we have our guest Toastmaster Uma Natras on camera?
Yes, I'm here. Is it my chance now, or do I go next?
We will
It's
take you
Uma
as the second
Natras.
speaker. Can you turn on your camera?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I have come outside. Please excuse me for that.
Yeah. Our first speaker would be Toastmaster Mamtajin, and second speaker would be Toastmaster Uma. The topic is, should print newspapers be replaced entirely by electronic papers or e-papers? Toastmaster Mamtajin in favor of the topic. Over to you.
We can shift newspapers with the e-papers, because when we have e-papers, we can read it at any time, anywhere. We can have it in our laptop or are in our mobile. So when we are traveling or we are sitting in park or we are in some public place, we can enjoy that at time also. Because sometimes when we have the newspaper, we have to, we can't carry it everywhere. E-papers, in e-papers, if we don't have the, we don't require to search what we want to read. We just type we want to read this type of news and we can search and we can read that.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mamta. Toastmaster Uma, against the topic, over to you. Toastmaster Uma, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. The topic is, should print newspapers be replaced entirely by e-papers? You will speak against the topic. Yeah.
Can you come again?
Should print newspapers be replaced entirely by electronic papers or e-papers?
I disagree with this. How easy it is to read a paper in your hand. We are so used to it. I think we should stick to it. We should not go for these e-newspapers. Though it is convenient, I still prefer the old method of reading the newspapers with a hot cup of coffee in your hand and the newspaper coming at your doorstep. I see many of the old senior citizens still waiting for it. So they are not used to all these e-newsletters. And even our generation, we have seen maybe the 70s, the 90s, and now I'm in the 2026. So I have seen all those generations. So if I look at it, I have got accustomed to e-newsletter, but still feel that the old newspaper is the best because you can go and read it anytime. You can feel it in your hand. How about reading a hard copy of a book and a soft copy of a book? It's just like that. So if you have a book in your hand, you can feel it, you can just experience it, and that feeling is really a different thing. So I always prefer to go with the hard copy in your hand and sipping a cup of tea or coffee, having it in your hand, just flapping through the pages.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uma. That was a clash of perspectives, nostalgia versus sustainability. Now let's move to our next speaker. Okay. Yeah, Toastmaster Archana and Toastmaster Mita, can we have you on camera?
Sorry, I'll not be able to come on camera.
No problem, that would be fine. Yeah, Toastmaster Archana would speak in favor of the topic and Mita would speak against the topic. Toastmaster Archana, are you ready?
Yes. Am
The
I audible?
topic, yes, you're audible. The topic is, should in-person schooling be replaced with hybrid education?
I have talked in favor.
Yeah, in favor.
Online. What you are saying. Can you repeat the
Yeah. Should in-person schooling be replaced with hybrid education?
Yeah, I definitely feel the in-person education must be replaced by hybrid education. What I have seen my children, they are overworked and they have to do a lot of things in a day, in a single day.
They have to go to the school, they have to go to their classes, they have to go to their coaching, and all day long they are doing some or the other kind of activity, and they don't get time to relax. They don't get time to talk to their parents. They don't get time to sleep properly. So what so many things they have to do, and I if I compare myself from the past days of mine, I had a lot of time for me after the school. We didn't go to the tuitions, or only few things are there were in homework. So hybrid education could help children to relax, to have time for themselves, to have quality time with the family, because we are also busy and children are also busy. We don't get time together. Only Sundays just go away with the sleeping, and we just go somewhere.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Archana. Toastmaster Mita, against the topic, over to you.
I don't agree that hybrid should be given. The children are always busy in that home. If you'll keep hybrid, how you will know the student is today attending or no? There'll be option. In person is more important. Olden days, Gurukul was there. So students used to go to Guru's house and they used to learn and gain the knowledge. They have become a lot of great people who has served to this scholars or astronauts or any member. You can see that lot of people have become, and Rishi Muni used to teach us. Now, I believe that it should be in person so that emoji is there, emotion is there. The children are doing at home hybrid. If we'll keep hybrid, what will happen? The children is sitting, playing, eating, or sleeping. Because I had the same. I am a teacher as a professional. I had during the COVID time. I used to handle the class. Student was not sitting. Grandmother was sitting always because mother was working. So this is the.
Thank you. So let's move to our next topic. Next, can we call Shilpa on camera?
I think I saw a message on the rule takers group.
Yeah.
Probably that this should be the last topic from the Toastmaster of the day.
Okay. General Evaluator.
Shilpa is here on the camera.
Yeah. And
Shilpa
can
and
we
Muskan also has her hand raised.
yeah. Can we have Muskan on camera? Okay. Shilpa, you will be speaking in favor of the topic. Master Muskan, you will be speaking against the topic. So, the topic is, should closed book exams be replaced with open book exams? Over to you, Shilpa. Shilpa, you're on mute.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me. I was searching how do I unmute again.
Yeah.
All right. Let me start. A generation where exams are no more the parameter for a successful career building for kids. There are other parameters that are included beyond exams, wherein their fitness, their mental presence, and physical activities are also part of the curriculum. Hobbies are also involved. In this generation, a closed book system is only giving students completely mugging or a by hearting system. Rather than that, an open book system where students are allowed to research and explain their answers with more details is helpful for them. Where marks can be replaced by only number of pages covered, instead of that they can be replaced by their understanding of the questions and their research from the book. So open book exam system is always going to lead a new generational method.
Thank you, Shilpa. Toastmaster Muskan against the topic. Over to you.
I don't agree because I have suffered the closed book system. Then why should I agree with the open book system for the new generation? Am I the only person or the only people who have to suffer everything? The third war about to come, the corona section. Now I don't know what more. Something absolute have to be there. So the closed book system is the only system that these people like me who have to learn by heart before the exams will pass. The open book system, please don't try with the children a new experiment. We have already suffered a lot, the COVID, the war, and what not. So I will go with the closed book system and it will really help.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Muskan. One topic, two different views. That was fantastic. So, with so those were some brilliant arguments. I'm sure these replacements would find place in our lives sooner than we think. Let's have a big round of applause for all the table topic speakers tonight for their brilliant insights. With this, I'll conclude the table topic session. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Sunil Gupta.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harshal Jadhav. Now, without delay, I will hand over the stage to the General Evaluator to present their and their team members' evaluation reports. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. I will now quickly move on to the evaluations. Give me 1 second. I'm just pulling up. Yeah. So let me first call the first evaluator of the first speaker, and that is Toastmaster Chitrangana Singh. I'll have to give a brief introduction about Chitrangana. I'm just pulling it up, but I actually don't need. I can do it without the intro as well. Yeah, that's Chitrangana. So Chitrangana is the person you can hold responsible every time you don't get the cab that you're looking for, because she works as the product manager for Rapido. So if Rapido is not available, she is the one that you should be calling up. But no, she is actually one of the very profound speakers we have at the Gabbies. She is an area contest. She has been an area level contestant. She has won at the club and multiple formats of the club contest. And I think this is the first time that she ever contested in Toastmaster contests. She is a very passionate speaker. And as I already mentioned, she's a product manager with Rapido. Over to you, Toastmaster Chitrangana, for the evaluation of our first speaker.
Do we have Toastmasters Smruti in the spotlight? Okay. All right. Clap of hands from my end, Toastmasters Smruti, for taking up this impromptu speech challenge. I believe here you have to push your limits on both preparation and adaptability. Today, we could see that raw finesse you have in handling complex communication situations. Now, the way I'm going to structure my evaluation on both of your speeches is I'm going to point out what stood out for me as a technique you used to engage with humor. Now, you are already a queen of gestures, you are a queen of pauses, you are a queen of voice modulations. All these things are obsolete on you. I'm not going to use those. What stood out today for me was seeing you use your smile so differently in both the speeches to create relevance with the situation and create humor. In speech one, throughout, you had a smile of amusement, where you are internally appreciating this mundane and regular scene of simply watching people talking to one another, connecting while sharing an adversity. In speech two, you had a smile of humbled triumph, in which you are not celebrating yet, okay? Because internally you are still processing on what was that which actually worked out despite your disbelief. As a consequence, you are narrating your perceived vulnerabilities for people to form their own takeaways and inspiration. These were two super strong points for me. You using your smile so differently in two different speech settings. Now, pushing myself to still give you a recommendation, although both the speeches seemed perfect to me, I would pick up the criteria of meeting project objectives. Your first speech would have elevated further on the factor of conforming to the topic and narrating adversity, the thunderstorm happened, rather than narrate it to us as a memory and learning from that day. On the same factor, for your second speech, more humor could have built up if some initial few seconds could have been spent on gathering the situation if it because it was an unexpected recognition for you. You could have started with something like, okay, I was almost ready to clap, but my name called out. uh, it started with a tone of confidence, confidence building up slowly while gathering your vulnerabilities, fine, but uh, I would have expected some initial mess up for a couple of seconds before you would have picked it up. Overall, both speeches were supremely enjoyable. I absolutely loved those. Thanks for showing up. What a marvelous impromptu speak looks like and feels like. This is definitely the milestone for us to aim for. Both speeches were perfect in terms of gestures and voice modulations. Just on the factor of confirming to the topic, I mean, we could have, at least for the first speech, we could have decided what our audience is supposed to be, and for the second speech, we could have read the situation a bit better. That's it from my end. Congratulations to you, Toastmasters Smruti.
Mhm. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chitrangana. Let me move on to the second evaluator. Am I frozen? Is my screen frozen? Yes, no? Okay.
Yes, it is.
It is okay. So now I think it's okay, right? You can see me wink, right? Yeah, good. Yeah. So I'm going to now move ahead with the second evaluator. The second evaluator, again, I don't need an introduction for her. I can introduce her anytime. She is a chartered accountant and an image trainer and a wonderful speaker who has contested at the area contest and the division contest multiple times. And she is as I always say, she's a queen of humor, and that too straight face, deadpan, resting bitch face humor. Over to you, Toastmaster Gauri Agarwal, the second evaluator for the first speaker.
Toastmaster Smriti, I'm going to start evaluating you in the way that you like best. You had my heart today, where each was the hook in both your speeches. In the first speech, you threw a question at the audience. Do you know what is a gazebo? And in the second one came the prop. The E stands for the emotion that you made us feel as an audience. Now, you use self deprecating humor in both the first and the second speech, and a misdirection in the first speech. Now, what the self deprecation humor did for me was I related to it, especially in the second one when you were talking about not being confident. I was like, I've been there. I know what she's talking about. A is the authenticity. It was your story, and the body language made it feel even more authentic. You were actually shivering and shaking when you were holding that award, and we could see that. The R is the relevance. How was it relevant to the audience? The style of humor that was very prominent was observational humor. We all have that one relative in the family who gets extra food, right? And we've all been up on stage when we've not been completely confident. So that was the relatability factor. The T was the message, the takeaway, and the messages in both your speeches were spectacularly wise. Interruptions are an opportunity to build connection and confidence that cannot be substituted. Now, how do I take this exceptional speech to a superlative one? I have two recommendations for you. One, today I felt like all of us feel at different points. Today I felt that you were a little nervous. And that nervousness was manifesting in the form of mispronunciation and grammatical errors. Now, how can we control that? By using strategic pauses. Anyways, pause is humor's best friend. My second recommendation is on the topic itself. The first topic actually says that you have to speak for a few minutes to entertain the group while the rain passes. Whereas you were giving us an image of what happened in the gazebo. So I'm not sure if that message was actually what you delivered to us. In the second speech, however, thanking your family was an obsolete concept. So that was perfectly done. The award-winning speech was beautiful. Now, I also want to throw a challenge at you here, which is if you can look at one humorous technique, which is called bathos. Bathos. It is you starting with a profound point and immediately falling to a trivial point. And that is what creates humor. So all in all, like I said, Toastmaster Smruti, if you can just control those nerves every now and then, and you have my heart, I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. A beautiful speech and evaluated by two of my favorite evaluators. So can I have Toastmaster Chitrangana on the camera, please? Chitrangana, can you come back on camera? Yeah, there she is. Okay. So can we have her on spotlight? Okay. So I will not comment too much on the speech. I will say some things and I'll tell you why I need to say something on the speech. I'll come to that in a bit. But before that, let me talk about the evaluations. So Chitrangana, your evaluation had some very nice use of terms. You said something like raw finesse, and a couple of other things, very nicely put, some in terms of recommendations also. You said a few things here and there. The only thing is that I don't think it was packaged properly. Somewhere I felt today, I felt you were a little bit more nervous than probably the speaker. When you were giving the evaluation, somewhere I thought a little bit of a hesitation when you're voicing your recommendations also. It was like, can I say this? Should I say this? Kind of a tone was coming out, even if that's not the intent, that's what I heard. The evaluations were also mostly at a 20,000, 30,000 feet view, which is not very ground level enforceable kind of a thing. So that's something that I would want you to think about if that can be packaged better. Now, Gauri, some great points, I think, that you made. Okay, before you go to Gauri, one other thing, Chitrangana, we can never mispronounce the speaker's name. If you have a doubt, ask with the speaker. It's not Smrati, it is Smruti, right? So I don't know if you noticed at the beginning you say Smriti, and Smruti, for a fact, I know that she takes a lot of exception to this. So she doesn't take it very kindly. Mispronouncing her name, misspelling her name, right? So yeah, so tread carefully. So that's something that you should check with the speaker if you're not sure, and particularly when she was introduced already by our handsome TMOD, you should have paid attention, right? As that how is he introducing her? So that's one. The second, and then that's one nitpicking that I wanted to do. But coming to Gauri, very good observation overall. Everything was good. Now understand one thing, that when you're saying that your nervousness was showing, even if that's your assumption, right? And you gave a couple of points that your nervousness showing in the mispronunciation and grammatical error. Leave it at that. You are talking to the first runner-up of a district contest, right? She definitely knows how to work on mispronunciation and grammatical errors. To teach her in public that for doing that, take strategic pauses. If nervousness was the reason, she'll figure it out. It's more like you don't need to correct her. You just need to remind her. There's a difference. Because a speaker of her caliber or your caliber, if I am correcting you in public, we often call it mansplaining, but I think it can also be called humansplaining, right? That then it kind of becomes a bit embarrassing for the speaker. So avoid that. So that's all in terms of the evaluation, feedback on the evaluation. Now coming to use speech, Smruti, this when I did the EH path, this was by far my most my favorite project. I love this. And I made this a little bit more challenging by selecting a set of topics which I did not even want to know beforehand. I don't know if that's what you did also. If you did you do that? Yes. Or the topics known to you?
The topic was there on the site.
Yes. So next, I mean, this is a recommendation, not because you did not do a good job, but because I think this is something like you can really sharpen your axe, right, with this one. So next time, again, attempt this project is what I would recommend, right? It's not because you, again, not because you've done or not done a good job, but because you can make it a sharper one. There, no, try to not take the topics which are there on the site, because there's an option to do that also. Maybe one topic from there on the site, and the other topic, let the TMOD give you any topic out of the blue moon, right? And attempt a 2 to 3 minutes humorous table topic on that, because I know where you're looking at. You're looking at the star. You're not going to stop anywhere short of the trophy of the district winner of table topics, right? So this is going to take you there. Trust my word on this, right? So attempt this, because when I did it, I really felt good about it. So thank you. Good job, Smruti, with the speech. We'll move on to the next speaker being evaluated by our two evaluators. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Ayesha. So one of our newer members, Toastmaster Ayesha's speech will be evaluated first by Toastmaster Rahul Swami. Rahul, I'm just trying to pull out your introduction. Yeah, Toastmaster Rahul Swami is a fitness enthusiast, which you can already see, and a marketing analyst at Sanofi Hyderabad with over 4 years of working experience. And today he's evaluating the first evaluator for our second speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Rahul.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, for the crisp introduction. So coming to speaker two, Ayesha, I loved the way you spoke today, the way you connected your office story, office anecdote with daydreaming. And this gives us a very good lesson that we should be more present in these digital times. And there is also one term connected to this, which I read, that is digital deluge. And that's mainly because of this device, because we get a lot of notifications, we are not able to concentrate, and that's why we get a lot of daydreams. But yeah, that was a really nice reminder for all of us. And your speech had very nice strong vocabulary. So there were very good usages of word such as bureaucratic melancholy, existential undertone, and azure skies. That was fantastic. But coming to the areas of improvement, what I saw that I couldn't see you entirely in the screen. Maybe the camera placement would have been better, because I saw that head was cutting from the top from the entire speech, and that could have been improved. Apart from that, hand gestures. So the project of this speech was to work on your hand gestures, right? And you did justice to that. You did added a lot of hand gestures, but then I was not able to process many of them, because in certain parts of your speech, like even the AC was not ready. You were quite fast in your hand gestures, and I was typing slowly, so you could have been a little bit slow, so that we could digest that hand gesture and the way what you are trying to convey in that segment. And also, somewhere I felt that there was nervousness in the speech, and maybe with more practice you could have improvised. And I generally loved the conclusion that we should be more present, so that we can leave. When we are present, we cannot leave, right? So overall, very nice speech, very nice topic, and very nice anecdote of you resigning, and you are daydreaming to resign in your office, but that was a dream. So that was a very nice anecdote. And with some changes in your camera positioning and your hand gestures, strategic hand gestures could make this speech even better. And I would love to hear more speeches from you. Thank you so much. Back to you, Kunal.
Toastmaster Rahul. Now I would invite the second evaluator of the second speaker, Toastmaster Dr. Archana Prajapati. Over to you, Dr. Archana.
My target speaker, Toastmaster Ayesha, gave a thoughtful speech about mental escape, social anxiety, and importance of presence, and the relatable psychological experience which made this speech an engaging one. This, what worked well for your speech was the strong opening conflict. We need to improve your performance. The boss said it. And then I am resigning. This immediate, the effective hook you created, it created a curiosity in the audience. Second was the effective visualization. I could see the ocean and the scenery around it. The sudden shift you said from the office to the ocean, that vivid imagery, that was quite intriguing, and that hooked the audience and also engaged the audience throughout. And you also asked the audience about your experience uh, of that drift. Did you experience that drift or not? This was a wonderful question in between to engage the audience. Third, uh, uh, good part of your speech was the hand gestures, your voice modulation, and your facial expressions. They were quite apt throughout the speech, and it was a part of your project. You did wonderfully there. The areas of improvement would be the resignation scene, which you said. It seems like a setup than a complete story. Rather than a strong narrative about your character, you could have used a strong narrative about your character, the character journey you could have shown. Why were these emotions? Why were you feeling like that? What was you feeling? And what were you escaping mentally? That was not clear. So a specificity about your character would have increased that emotional engagement, emotional impact, and connection with the audience. And the second most important area of improvement was your takeaway, because for me, the takeaway was like, don't escape life, balance imagination with presence, something like that. But a stronger closing line would have made it more impactful. For example, I'm just giving an example here. Like, our minds may know how to leave the room, but our lives only change when we stay in it. Any particular statement of phrase at towards the end would have lasted that impact of your speech. Now, overall, the summary of the speech is strong opening conflict, effective, vivid mental image, the great hand gestures and the voice modulation, and the areas of improvement would be strong character journey and a stronger takeaway would have enhanced your speech to a much higher level. Overall, kudos to your speech and looking forward for more from you. Back to you, Central Evaluator.
Thank you. So first, the good things about both the evaluations, both Rahul and Archana are pretty structured. This the standard Toastmaster evaluation, the way it should be done. Archana gets a few extra brownie points for a very good summary of her evaluation. She summed it up really well at the end. Now I'll quickly move on to the recommendations. And I've got two, extremes what I noticed today. So Rahul's, there was a time whenever we had a doubt of what to recommend, we would tell the speaker stand up. That would cut it, right? And if the speaker is already standing, then the other thing we will say is that you appear nervous, you should practice more, right? Why you appear nervous and how did you know that the speaker did not practice? God knows. I think that is exactly the recommendation that I always recommend, Rahul, you should not give, that practice more. How do you know that she did not practice, right? And why do you think she was nervous? That is something that has to be very clear to the speaker. Like if you notice, Gauri also mentioned that there was a degree of nervousness, but she mentioned very specific that I noticed mispronunciation and grammatical error, and a speaker of your caliber, I would not expect that. Right? So there's a very specific reason. I did not find those specifics when you said that Ayesha was nervous, because I personally did not find her nervous at all. I felt that probably, and I would say this, Ayesha, I'm watching your journey as a speaker, and I'm seeing you getting more confident in every speech, is what the way I am seeing her, right? So, but again, it's an individual take. You feel she was nervous. I feel she was not nervous. Both of us need to say why she was nervous or not nervous. And why am I saying Ayesha was not nervous? Because this time I saw her speaking with open hand gestures. Generally, I have seen Ayesha sitting or speaking with closed hand gestures. And this is one of the biggest signs of confidence when you start speaking with an open hand gesture. So that is one of the reasons I said that Ayesha was more confident. Now, if this was one extreme, that it was very generic, Dr. Archana's evaluation was extremely specific. She as much as rewrote Ayesha's entire speech. She said, this is how the opening should be. This is how the characterization should be. This is how the conclusion should be. This is how the takeaway should be. And Ayesha is like, why don't you write my speech, right? So I think you should avoid that. Let the speaker own the speech. You say, this is what my expectation is from the speech, right? Let the speaker draft the speech. Don't take away that right from the speaker, because it is still her speech, right? We are evaluating the speech. We are not hijacking the speech. I think there's a very small difference. So keep that in mind. And Ayesha, I love the speech. I am loving the confidence that you are bringing onto the screen every time you're taking the stage. So keep continuing to speak and continuing to grow. You're definitely going to be there very soon. Thank you. And if I did not introduce our second evaluator, there's a reason, because I never have been able to pronounce her profession. She's an anesthesiologist, an intensivist, and she is actually a doctor, one of the several doctors that we have at the Gabby. So my apologies, Dr. Archana, for not introducing you earlier. But seriously, that is the reason I can't pronounce that word, whatever, anesthesiologist. Yeah. Thank you.
Quite well.
Okay, we'll move on to the next speech evaluators, and the next speech will be evaluated by two evaluators. The first one is our division director, distinguished Toastmaster Shashank Bhat. He is also a chartered accountant, and he is going to be evaluating our third speaker today. Over to you, Shashank.
They say titles are given, but I say the distinctions are earned. In Toastmasters, we celebrate many milestones. We celebrate triple crowns, we celebrate completing a path, we celebrate winning a contest, or celebrate a leadership role. But there is one recognition, the highest recognition that stands out, stands apart, not because it's the highest title, but it is what it represents, the commitment of a member. The Distinguished Toastmaster title is not awarded for a single term or for an year or for one speech or a project. It is the culmination of years of hard work, perseverance, and commitment shown by a member in becoming a Distinguished Toastmaster. Today's speaker, Paduka, was attempting her first project under the DTM, first speech under the DTM project, which is to plan her or share her plan and vision for her Distinguished Toastmaster project. So my evaluation will focus more on the speech than the project itself. Toastmaster Paduka, the best part about your speech, which I felt, was your
the relevancy of the project, right? I've seen people do a small activity as a Distinguished Toastmaster project. I've seen people do something at their apartment in, creating a small gate or a dump yard. But your project was very relevant to all of us, and it covered the issue which many hybrid clubs face, which is in-person attendance. And through your project, you ensured us that we will have a lot of interactive activities, engagements, and a lot of things like this, which will make sure we attend this meeting in person, and this tradition will continue. So hit the bullseye when it comes to selecting the project, where it was very relevant to what the issues faced by most of the clubs. And it's giving back to the Toastmasters again, right? We learned a lot from Toastmasters, and this is the time we give back. And you're very clear in your plan You had plan, objectives, your engagement strategy, your metrics, risks and mitigations, expected outcome. It is a very well planned and prepared Distinguished Toastmaster project. You also had good presentation. You covered a lot of things through these presentations. Having said that, this presentation was a small issue in your speech, because I think you started sharing your screen after what, 40 seconds? But after that, till the time you said thank you, it was only the presentation mostly, and you were speaking behind it. As a project, what I would have expected is you should have spoken more about what this project is initially first, then shared your screen for the nitty-gritties and the details about the risk mitigations and few details which we have to focus on. Because the moment you share the screen, the focus will be on me reading this script on the screen than me listening to you, right? Because this speech is more about you giving a speech, right? As a speaker, I think this is one point which you could have changed. Second is the structure of the speech, where I would have spoken more about the troubles, the issues which people face. The attendance dip, attending hybrid, in-person value, we're not seeing, because you spoke about pre-COVID, during COVID and post-COVID. Talk about the issues, what happened after COVID, then how this project would help you, right? So this we would have seen the problem, felt the problem, then the solution would have more impact as your as per part of your speech. And last point is about the conclusion, as in what is the project ensuring beyond this project as well. You summarized, ended at the project, but beyond the project, how will it generally help us? You could have summarized that in a couple of maybe 30 seconds. Overall, brilliant speech. I think you will get this tag of Distinguished Toastmaster soon, but you already are a Distinguished Toastmaster in all of us days because of the commitment, the achievements, and the resilience you have shown as a Toastmaster recently. You're on the right path in becoming the role model as a Toastmaster to most of the newer members. So keep this up. Wishing you all the very best in a Distinguished Toastmaster journey. Back to the General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, DTM Shashank Bhat. We will move on to the second evaluator of the third speaker. He has given a very humble introduction of an accomplished Toastmaster, charter member of 2 clubs, VP Education. But let me tell you, if you're in District 98 somewhere in Bombay and you know him, people will actually give you red carpet treatment. So he is kind of a who's who in the world of Toastmasters in the western side of the country. Please welcome with a big round of applause, Distinguished Toastmaster Akshay Singh, who was also the conference chair of the district conference last year, and continues to don many leadership roles within the Toastmaster fraternity. Over to you, Akshay.
Just confirm if I'm audible clearly. All right. Happy evening to each and every one of you and Speaker Paduka. The speech title Speak X beautifully described your vision and plan, but it focused on the key essence that confident communicators are not created by consuming communication, but it is only possible by experiencing communication. That thought is something which I will take back today with me. Let me highlight the areas which I felt you did really well. The very first, a strong vision requires a proper planning. You had different stages in your planning. You had the plan, what you wanted to do, key metrics, as well as you also had a timeline which showed how you are focusing on those metrics and what do you want to retain, and risk mitigation as well as your team members. Each of these gives concrete idea about your vision and plan. Kudos to you. The second element which I really loved was how you described, you highlighted first in the start that I'm a 7 years old Toastmaster and I have experience online, offline, hybrid. So that brought in the credibility that when you are sharing something about your vision, it base foundation that you have already experienced all the dynamics. And today you want to highlight what brings a much more rich experience through communication. So very well done. Third thing which I felt was a Distinguished Toastmasters project, which is the first speech, not only highlights the vision, but it also highlights how the leader is planning and thinking. That was clearly evident through your plan when you highlighted that you had an 18-member team, because everything is not done by one single member. You highlighted the team and you also mentioned how each of them are having their individual targets and activities which they are going to perform. Very well done. Now, Speaker Padukam, I really want to see what more can be done through this first speech. When we are sharing about the vision, I felt there were a couple of elements which you could have added have made the impact much higher. For example, you defined that you wanted to create an immersive experience. And when you mentioned that we are going to do certain engagement activities, what kind of engagement activities? I had the question in my mind. If you could have described one or two engagement activities and clearly highlighted without revealing the entire agenda, the surprise element, as well as what fun-filled agenda would be there, I would have known. The second element, the presentations on the screen and speaker speaking behind is an absolute idea, is what I feel. What could have been done better is you could have used much more better ways to present. For example, the plan, the team members, you could have given a visual structure. Most of the members over here, they would have recollected who they are, and it would have easily remembered and recollected in their mind. Second thing, you could have used a transition that this is first, second, third. So you speak and then the slides come so that members are focusing on you and understanding your plan much better rather than focusing on the slides. Toastmaster Paduka, you have really done well on the vision, the clarity. As a leader, you did really well. Incorporating the elements which are highlighted, the 2 points wherein the transitioning using different method of presentation as well as specific elements of the fun-filled agenda, I'm sure it would be a fantastic speech the next time you deliver. Wish you all the best. Looking forward to see how you complete your ETM project. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Hello. Yeah. Um, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I don't have any recommendation per se, but there's something, two observations that I really wanted to make about these two evaluations. And I think this is something that we should watch this particular thing on repeat. Both the evaluators covered such beautiful points in their entire speech, right? And none of them repeated any of these points. So Shashank talked about Paduka talking about the subject, right? That how the subject is relevant in terms of the point of commendation. And Akshay talked about how she brought in all the aspects of it while she is presenting the speech. So there was no duplication of the points, even though both of them had got very solid commendation points. Even in terms of recommendation, Shashank talked about what should happen beyond the meeting. Akshay talked about what are the elements of the meeting. So, this is what exactly we aspire to do in the double evaluation, and beautifully both of you demonstrated. And Paduka, I have just one thing to add. I think a PPT is not required for this kind of a speech. In fact, I'm not a big fan of having PPT for a 5 to 7 minute speech, because as it is, you have got very small screen time. The idea is there in your head. You can just present it out there. Okay. So with this, we'll move on to the next the next part of my evaluation, and that is going to be our timer. Toastmaster Smita, very quickly, because we are well behind our schedule, if you can please present your timers report.
Can I share the screen?
You can share.
Okay, so there are 3 members, except those everyone was under the timeline. One is Paduka Kannan has taken 8 minutes 30 seconds. Shashank, Toastmaster Shashank Bhat has taken 3 minutes 30 seconds, and Akshay Singh has taken 3 minutes 30 seconds. Rest everything is fine.
Thank you so much. Let me now move on to our language evaluator, Toastmaster Priya Singh. Priya, if you can please present your report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I would need the sharing rights, or else I'll post.
I have it already.
Okay, thank you. So as you can see, everybody has really put in so much effort, and it is a great pleasure to see how the English language has been used so beautifully, and I'm very confident that AI cannot replace the use of English language. When we have a Toastmasters meeting, it is purely evident. The word of the day was used by Sourav Dutta, distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta, Sunil Gupta, Toastmaster of the Day, Table Topic Master, and Chitrangana Singh. There were wonderful metaphors and rhetoric devices that were used, anaphora especially. I'll just highlight some of them. We speak, we give feedback, we grow together, by Renu Kaushal, troublesome routines, outdated mindsets, metaphor by Toastmaster Sunil Gupta, continue to speak, continue to grow, anaphora by distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta, food, food, more food, epizeuxis by Toastmaster Smruti, Sagarika Mohanty, people blaming forecast, people blaming husbands, people blaming kids, connecting with situation, connecting with people, anaphoras by Toastmaster Smruti, Toastmaster Ayesha, the ocean, the breeze, the resignation, social anxiety, social withdrawal, again, anaphora, while speaking, while working, anaphora. Have you experienced this kind of situation? Maybe yes, hyperphora. Toastmaster Paduka had a rule of three: connection, community, communication, more of the hands, more the people, anaphora, come together, do together, experience together, epitrophy. Toastmaster Harshal Jadhav used nice phrases. A lot of phrases have been used by a lot of Toastmasters. Change is the only constant. Nostalgia versus sustainability. Toastmaster Chitrangana Singh, anaphoras beautifully used. Queen of gesture, queen of poise, queen of voice. Smile of amusement, smile of humble triumph. Toastmaster Gauri Agarwal, simile, pause is humor's best friend. Commendable phrases, trivial, self-deprecating humor, superlative. Toastmaster Rahul Swami, noteworthy words, vocabulary, strategic hand gestures, anecdote. Toastmaster Archana Prajapati, effective visualization, vivid imagery, intriguing, curiosity. Distinguished Toastmaster Shashank Bhat, highest recognition, highest title, seen the problem, visualize the problem, anaphora. Distinguished Toastmaster Akshay Singh, highlights vision, highlights team, anaphora. Some phrases, risk mitigation, immersive experience. There were some repetitive words, filler words, especially ours and right, and like. These were some which can be avoided. I have mentioned it in the interest of time. I'll post this in the chat box for everyone to see it again. Thank you very much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Hello. Thank you so much, Priya, for the detailed report, and thank you for being respectful of the time and the shortage of the time that we have. Muskan, I'll come to your listener report in a short while. Let me first do the evaluation, and then you can just give the listener report. Keep limited it to 3 questions, right? So, TMOD Sunil, I don't have anything specific. Okay, let me start with the essay. Muskan, very good job. Started the meeting on time. You were also keeping a tab on the role takers. Everything was good. Renu, you came in as a last minute replacement in terms of the presiding officer. And I think you, as always, you did good justice to the role. You're very serious about your role, and that actually shows the way you brief all the role takers. So that's a good job again as a presiding officer. Sunil, I love the topic. It's a very relevant topic because we keep on, I think replacement, exiting, quitting, these things have been made a villain in our life, right? It seems like almost like blasphemous, and we are always made to feel guilty. But I think it's very important that we do that instead of, because everything cannot be repaired. Not everything can be, we keep on romanticizing, living with imperfections and so on. Well, there is a merit to those arguments. There's also a merit to in terms of replacement. That's why we need to move on from toxic relationship. I've replaced in my job multiple times, my business decision, people, we have to keep on replacing. Otherwise, we have to keep on carrying the baggage. A very important message. I think one of the things, I don't know if you're doing this already, but you need to explain the theme a little bit to VP education, and if possible to the VP peer, which in the case of the GOAT, I take care of that, right? So give me a small note in terms of what the theme is all about, because then I can do more justice in terms of designing the poster and all. Because this time I kept the poster very generic because I did not know exactly what you're going to talk about. I remember last time we had a bit of a back and forth on this one. So just ensure you drop me a couple of lines to help me understand what the theme is all about. The way you conducted it, you had good interaction, no gyan, great job. Coming to the TTM section, Harshal, great selection of topics. But one thing and Renu, this is more for you, because this is not a very standard format, right? This is, I think, the third or the fourth time I'm mentioning this, but I want us to learn this. This is a common mistake. You cannot debate on a question. You can answer a question. Right? Is school education, is open book education better than a closed book education is a question. You can answer that. You can say, yes, open book education is better. Or you can say closed book education is better. Or you can say both is better. But you cannot debate on that. You can never debate on a question. You can only debate on a statement. So every time we do this, remember, it has to be a statement. Like, for example, open education is better, open book, whatever, open book exams are better than a closed book exam. That's a statement. Now you can debate for or against. Someone can say, yes, open book exam is better. So they're debating for the topic. Someone can say, no, it's not better. So they're debating against the topic. But when you're answering the question, which is better, then it is not a debate. Right? So don't make this mistake again and again, because then it loses the essence of the debate. Overall, the TT speakers were good, very confident, good speeches, and nothing more to add. I would now ask our listener to quickly test our listening skills in not more than 3 questions. Muskan, we are really, really short on time.
Hello everyone. So I will be very quick. Who was with Smriti when she was observing the family in the gazebo? Anyone?
Toastmasters Smruti.
Who was with Toastmaster Smriti when she was observing the family? Yeah, correct. A shocking statement was given by Toastmaster Gauri that she was about to throw her sister from the stairs. What was the emotion behind it? Anyone?
Jealousy.
Correct. Okay. How many officials are there for making the upcoming event successful? DTM Paduka has mentioned it. Anyone?
80.
It was 80. Okay. Yes, correct. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you so much. One very quick correction. Paduka is working towards becoming a DTM. You have to give her that time. Don't put unnecessary pressure on her by calling her DTM again and again, right? So Paduka, no pressure. Okay, so we are going to now wrap up the meeting, and for doing that, I'm going to invite our presiding officer directly. But before doing that, what Noor has just shared in the meeting, I would request everyone to download and keep it with you. It's a fantastic debate handbook, which gives you the do's and don'ts of doing a good debate contest. So it's a very good resource. Please download and use it and consume it later at your whenever you have some time. Over to you, Renu, for the closing address as the presiding officer. Sunil, I'm handing over directly to Renu.
Okay, no.
Renu, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
Oh, so sorry. Okay. Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for your evaluation today of the meeting and all points that you mentioned in the with regard to the different roles. They are being noted and will be taken care of. And I would request the Zoom moderators to please float the polls. And while you all vote for your favorite role takers, I would request the guests, if any of them would like to share their feedback for today's meeting. May I request Toastmaster Uma Nataraj? Would you like to share some feedback with us?
Yeah. So it was a long time since I attended the meeting, and I was so happy to see 2 evaluators for each speaker. So that was a real bonus, I think, both to the audience and also to the speaker. So this is a practice that I would like to take it forward in my club too. And having a D team evaluate you is even a good one. So even the table topics were awesome, I should say. And maybe we should take care of whether it is a debate topic or a question, like DTM Sourav said. Otherwise, I just enjoyed the meeting, though I was outside. I was hearing it in bits and pieces. Next time, I should be fully in the meeting. That is the learning for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking that time out, even though because of your personal engagement, you still managed to keep track of our meeting. Thank you so much. We look forward to you in the next meeting as well. Thank you. May I request, yes, I think the guests have already left. So it's time if any of the members would like to share their feedback. I see Toastmaster Noor Mohammed here. Toastmaster Noor Mohammed, do you have any feedback for us?
In fact, I thoroughly enjoyed today's meeting. All the speakers were amazing, and the evaluators even more. And the GE was icing on the cake. Thank you all
Right.
for making my time memorable. Thank you. Back to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you so much. Well, it's been time that we have the poll results ready. Let's quickly delve into them. So now it's time for the favorite auxiliary role takers. So the auxiliary role takers, any guesses for who the favorite role taker is? The auxiliary role includes the timer, the language evaluator, and the listener.
Language evaluator.
Yes, yes, you guessed it very right, Rita ma'am. Thank you. Zoom moderator, can we spotlight the winner, please? Okay, next it's time for the favorite role taker. The role takers are GE, TMOD, and the TTM, the table topic master.
TMOD.
Very right. Yes. Can we spotlight the general evaluator? Is the best role taker. Next, we come to the favorite evaluators. Because of the disqualification on basis of time, I'm sorry, we couldn't include DTM Akshay and DTM Shashank in the polls. So, among the other 4 evaluators, Toastmaster Chitrangana, Toastmaster Gauri, Toastmaster Rahul, and Toastmaster Archana. Who among is the favorite? Any guesses? Well, the favorite evaluator for today's polls is Toastmaster Gauri Agarwal. And as for the table topic speakers, if we have almost a tie in between all, so but the credit goes to Toastmaster Shilpa and Toastmaster Muskan. Congratulations to both of you. Have I missed anybody? Yes, we have missed the speaker. Smruti is still making out. Whom did we miss? We missed her only in the screen, right? So the best speaker, favorite speaker for today goes to Toastmasters Smruti S. Sagarika Mohanty. Congratulations. Can we spotlight it? Yeah, thank you so much. We're looking forward to you all joining on Saturday, 13th June for the Gabby's Day celebration. Don't forget to register your for the meeting. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank